Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 5 here on Stone Valley with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it's the next day, September 3rd, a little after sunrise here, 7 o'clock in the morning, but not still fully light yet. I currently have time stopped because we have some housekeeping items to look after, and I think that's how we'll kind of roll going forward, is we'll always stop the episode with the clock stopped. We'll take care of whatever we need to take care of off camera, update, and maybe what we're going to be up to. Then we'll turn the time on and get to farming. Now, last episode, as you may recall, Jim was plowing our field, and the plow we were using was supposed to mulch at the same time, and it wasn't doing a very good job of that, and that was something we needed to take care of, and I have done so. If we take a look here at our field, you can see now it is fully mulched, and you can also see the stones are gone. So I did take care of that with Easy Dev, and I checked our pH values before I did it and after, and they were the same, so there was no penalty to us as far as the amount of lime that would be required on the field. So I just went ahead and did it that way. And I did take some money out of the farm account. Unfortunately, at the time I was trying to decide what would be more appropriate, $3,500 or $5,000. And I did not record what I decided on, and that was a little bit ago when I recorded that episode. So yeah, unfortunately, we did pay something for it, but I can't recall. Now, so this episode, oh, one other thing I guess we should talk about before we get into what we're going to be doing. If we take a look at the contracts, we completed the small cultivating contract. Actually, my wife completed that, and we had completed that large fertilizing contract. So that just leaves the plowing contract. And I started working on that towards the end of the day and worked until dark. But you can see there's some more to go on that. So we will carry on with that. I'll give Jim a break from the plowing because he did that big field there. And we'll get him set up, and he's going to start liming. And we need to also seed and then of course roll that field. Now I don't know if we'll get it all done today, but we certainly need to get it all done this month. So if we go and look at the shop, remember I was talking about a lime spreader, and I think we will purchase purchase it because it's not that expensive. We still have $76,000 we can spend, and it's this one right here. It has a really good spread width. Not the greatest capacity, but still half decent. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll purchase that. We'll also need to buy some lime, of course. And then I was thinking about what we could do, because we still have fertilizer in our auger wagon, and potentially we need to put seeds in there as well if we want to, do cart lime with it as well. Although I don't think we'll use it for lime on this field here because we'll be so close to the yard, we'll just use our telehandler. But I was thinking that what we would do, yeah, I think right here, I've put a call into the bank at the end of the day yesterday and petitioned them because I would like to install oh, sorry, it's right here. One of these, which one is it? This one. It is a silo that you can store your field supplies like fertilizer, lime, seeds, that sort of thing. I'd like to stick it back here, just kind of back in this area of the shop. And I was hoping the bank would let us pay for it out of the farm funds, because we are doing fairly well. I did tell them that I expected that we'd be able to service both loans no issue, and likely have some money to pay down on the farm debt in addition to. And you know what? It doesn't hurt to ask. I explained it was an asset to be, going to add value to the farm. And so, yeah, asked. We'll see what they have to say. But I'd like to put that in, and even if they won't let us take it out of the additional funds, we may take it out of that 76,000. So one way or another, we'll likely get that put in, and they just bring that on a truck and stand it up, and Bob's your uncle, as they say. Okay, so I think that is everything that we need to discuss. So I am going to get the time crank to back up. I'm going to buy that lime spreader and some lime, and we'll get organized and go get that picked up, and we'll get Jim going on lime in this field, and we'll get going on doing some plowing. So I'll get that kind of organized, get the time turned back on, and I'll catch up with you in just a minute. Well, we're down here at the shop. Our seeder and roller that we leased are still sitting down here. Shop doesn't seem to mind. We've been spending quite a bit of money, so they're reasonably happy with us right now. So I did buy the lime spreader, and I bought two 8,000 liter big bags worth of lime. The shop kindly filled the lime spreader up, and the full bag and partial bag are in my truck, so we can head back to the farm with those. Now, one thing I did forget to mention is that we need to put in a workshop and a pressure washer. I brought them with me from Nebraska. I just haven't got them in place, but I think I have decided on which shop to put them in. So at some point, hopefully this episode, I can get those placed so that we can do some basic maintenance on our vehicles and get them washed, because some of them are getting pretty dirty. This field right here, actually, you know what? It's the one we fertilized, come to think of it, that we're going to be plowing here. Just a moment, once we get Jim fired up and ready to go. Yeah, so he's going to like the lime spreading job, but when it comes time to start the seeding, he may not be a fan, because that's the same width as our plow, so it's going to take him just as long as it did to plow it, to get it seeded. Now I don't know, may get my daughter or wife to top him up while we continue working on the plowing, see what they're up to, or I may have to come back and kind of cart seed for them. We'll see how that works once we get to that point. Not much for using signal lights here, of course. I can't talk. I'm not much for using them either. All right. Get that unattached. Now that's a mod I could probably use, is that one where you have to go and attach. Sorry, name just escaped me. Manual attach. Where you have to get out and attach your equipment. I started using it on one map, but then I ran into problems because there was one particular piece of equipment that I couldn't, there's the tractor, I couldn't use it on. And so I gave up using it, and I haven't turned it back on yet. But right now we're not using that particular piece of gear, so maybe I should consider putting that one back on and giving it a try. Now, like I said, we're just going to use our telehandler with the big bags to refill this. It's not worth using our auger wagon when it's right by the yard here. So I'm basically I am going to set Jim off, aka use course play, and so I'll get him going, and once he's running I will bring you back in and we'll head off and do some plowing. So we'll see you in just a minute. Well, Jim is underway. Looks like we might have a little piece here we need to fix up on our own. Oh, I was going to say, let's jump in the pickup truck and we'll head down to the field where the tractor is to do the plowing. But before we do that, better unload the line. That wouldn't have worked out so well. Oops. Come on. There we are. So we'll get that unloaded. Guess we don't really need that in our way. Yeah, the building I'm thinking of putting the workshop in is the one, just let me get turned around, the one we're facing right now, one with our truck in it. My logic being is that we're going to have water in it for our pressure washer. It would make sense you'd have it in a building close to the house. I was originally thinking about using that small garage, but the door is too small to get the harvester in and the access isn't the best, so I gave up on that idea. We'll just run this over here by the field. That's where we're going to need it. Probably could have actually done this in camera. Let's give it a try. See if we can do it without scratching our truck. Oh yeah, no problem. Actually, we might as well just leave that bag on there because we're going to need it to refill anyways. All right, so now we can head to the field. And I'm sure somebody here, either my daughter or my wife can, or Jim himself can load up the lime spreader when it empties. And we'll head off to the field and do a little plowing. So I will meet you down there. Okay, so we're ready to go on this side of the field. I got the other side of the creek done last night. So I just have this side to go. Now, the jury is still out on this. If we bought this, because we have leased it, so our leasing, the money we spend on leasing would go towards the purchase. If we bought it, we could just remove the mulching function and just use it as a plow. But I just haven't decided. It would basically just be for plowing contracts. But it you know, I was kind of impressed at how, oops, I'm way off there, how quickly Jim managed to get that large field done. So, you know, again, I just don't recall how much it was worth. It may be worth us just to hang on to it. I think what we'll do is we'll pay the lease up until the end of the month and into the next month, and we'll see if any more plowing contracts come up. That might help us decide. Oh, there's Jim. Jim needs a refill already. Well, I just got a text from my wife. She refilled the lime spreader for Jim, and she said we don't have nearly enough lime. So I'm going to have to put a pin in this plowing operation again and run to the store and get at least 2 more bags. I'll probably pick up 3 bags of lime, and hopefully that'll be enough for him to get the job done. So um, yeah, I guess I'll have to leave it there. I don't want to walk back to my truck, so we'll run the tractor over. So I'll have to go and take care of that, and then we come back. We come back to plowing. Maybe what I'll do this time is I will get my wife to run me back, uh, and so they can have the pickup just in case they need to go get more lime. Thing is, this didn't work out too good this time. But that's how it goes some days when you're farming. So I'll go take care of that. I'm going to grab 3 more bags of lime. So you'll see our money will go down again by, well, that would be $3,600. So I'll get that taken care of, and I'll meet you back here at the field. So we'll see you again in a little while. Well, we're back down here at the field at last. As you can see, some time has passed. That's because once I went and got the lime for Jim, saw how much he had left, I decided just to stay there and help him out and get him going on the seeding. So he's well underway now on that project. So I had my wife run me down and drop me off here at the field so I can bring the tractor back, and then they'll have the pickup if they happen to need it. And we can get on with this plowing. But I did something I've never done before. Hopefully it doesn't cost us a fortune. But what I'm doing is I'm allowing the worker to buy the seed, so I don't have to stop and go and fill them up. And just looking at the rate the money's going down and the estimated time to complete the field, I'm going to guess it's going to cost us about $4,000. That doesn't seem too bad. I was going to buy a large bag of seed. It's 4,000 liters in it for $6,000. So if we're under 6, we'll be okay. But I just thought it for immersion, it makes it a little better, and I don't have to stop and run fill them up. Also, based on that time that Courseplay comes up with, you'll probably be done about 2 o'clock, I'd say, between 2 and 3. So hopefully we'll be done plowing this field by that time, and we'll give him a break and we'll get on and do the rolling. Certainly seems like we should be able to get that done today, I'm thinking. And then I'm not sure if once we're done today, we'll obviously proceed to the next day, which will be the last day of the month. I don't know if we'll do an episode there or if we'll jump to October. We'll just take a look at what the contracts have to offer and make a judgment from there. For just plowing, this doesn't make a bad combination. My go-to plow is like 6-meter one. I think is it Raleigh Christie? Here, I'll show you. Just hang on here. You look, this plow here, it's nice and cheap. It's 6 meters wide. Says it takes 180 horsepower, but realistically, if you want to pull it at the speed it can go, oops, oh no, it's just the mulching part. You need like 300 horsepower. But like I said earlier, I was pretty impressed at how quickly Jim actually got that field done with this plow. You know, certainly faster than a bottom plow or a furrow plow. So we have $56,000 left to spend. So we'll see how much this is, and we'll make a decision, like I said, next month on whether we want to buy it out or not. And it would be for just plowing contracts. Running up against the map edge there, that's why this is a little bit awkward, shall we say. Can't back up far enough to get straightened around. There we go. Good enough. We could actually move that over, something like so. We use VCA here. That way I don't have to steer, it'll do a nice straight line. We'll get a couple headlands done in the end, and we can use it to finish the field. Again, there's no cost to us for this because it's just like using GPS. Although I suppose a tractor of this age wouldn't have GPS, and we don't have a globe on it. So that's probably not the most realistic thing to be doing. Now, I haven't been showing setting up courseplay on camera just because I am just learning that myself. I am certainly far from an expert, so you probably you don't want to be learning from me. But if you are looking for somebody that really knows courseplay and auto drive, look up a fellow called Farmer Mike. He is really good at it. Another one would be the Farm Sim guy, but between those two guys, they have quite a bit on both auto drive and courseplay using it. That's where I've learned what I know is from those guys. Still waiting to hear back from the bank on whether they'll let us buy the silo over and above the $56,000 we have left. Hopefully. Like I said, it's probably a pretty big ask for but you never know until you ask, do you? Would just help us out a little bit. Basically just means ultimately in the end no, sorry, that was I'll just scratch and not bother saying what I was going to say, because I was stinking thinking I was about to utter out, and for once I caught myself. That doesn't happen too often. Most often I just release that and then I realize afterwards, oh, that was actually really stupid, and I was about to say something. So I had to keep that to myself. Pretty neat custom textures on this map, I must say. We'll likely try and do some in-cab work here once we kind of get the headlands down. because we haven't used this tractor yet. All the on-camera work that I've done with tractors has been in the 7810. Jim's the one that's been using this tractor mostly. Now I have been keeping an eye on used equipment, but unfortunately so far nothing there that we really need. And those contracts has really helped our financial situation now. We're actually I'm feeling pretty good shape. My calculation was we needed 100,000. So if we take and spend all the money that we have available to us, and the bank allows us to purchase that silo that we want out of these funds, we'll still be over 100,000. We'll be 120,000, something like that. And like I said, we've got $75,000 worth of wheat. So we could be potentially paying $75,000 towards the loan, which is a pretty nice chunk. That's a big reason why I went with canola, because it's a pretty good cash crop on this map. But we are at some point we're going to want to have some more land. You know what, I'm going to go maybe one more will do it. But we're not going to make it just on one field, that's for sure. Never really looked either to see how expensive land was on this map. Let's take a look now, because I didn't really pay any attention to that. What kind of dineros are we going to need? Oh, now why did he miss that strip there? Oh, we'll have to get that figured out. Say something like this. How much is that field? 900,000. Okay. This one? Oh, another 900 grand. Guess the small fields are down here. There's 600,000. Well, we might be going for one field for a while. Certainly, I don't think the bank is going to be fronting us any money or any more money in the near future. Not that kind of coin anyway. Once we get the note that they have their holding paid off, and maybe a little bit down on the base, and can convince them to lend us some money for some more land, because at least then we you know, they won't be lending more money than what the value of the property is. But it might take us, oh, excuse, that was close. Excuse me, coming through. I had mentioned about putting chickens in, excuse me, and the reason I didn't is so that we can just jump through the winter As soon as there's no contracts available, we'll just jump ahead and get into the next year cycle as quick as possible, because it is going to probably take us well, more than 2, probably 3 years in game to get that note paid off at the bank. I guess it all kind of depends how contracts go, and what kind of dollars we have to lay out for equipment to keep the farm going. So just to speed things up, I'm not going to put animals in for a little bit, and we'll deal with them a little bit later, but we certainly will be tending to some animals here at some point. But I think we're going to have to be relying on our friendly bankers to help us expand on here, because plots with animal pens on are, if they're like any other map, they're going to be even more money. So I was kind of hoping on this playthrough to stay away from a lot of productions and just rely more on farming, just for a little bit of a throwback. Not that I have anything against productions, I do them all the time, but I also kind of get to depend on them to make money in a hurry, and thought we'd just try and stick more with farming on this one. Of course, you don't want to be playing on this for 10 years. So we'll see how it goes. Now we got to do a bit more of a headland here on this end. Yeah, see, I can't even get spun around there. Boy, Nancy Boy used pretty much every inch of available space on this map. You know what, I just realized I meant to check the time when I started this, so I had some idea how long I was recording for. Probably have recorded for a lot longer than I think I have. I think what we'll do is we'll do this. I need a bigger headland than this at this end, but we'll do this one. We'll do another pass with VCA and watch from the inside, and that's where we'll pause it. And because I'm thinking I want to have a little bit of time left to look at the rolling, so I have a tendency when I get kind of yakking to forget or lose track of time. Oh, hit the wrong button. Well, why is that not coming up now? There it is. You can look at the inside of this bad boy while it runs down the track. So the dash looks like it's a little bit more modern than the 7810. In real life, I didn't look it up. I don't know where they land on the timeline as compared to each other. I would have thought the 7810 actually would be newer just from the look of it. It looks like it has more modern John Deere styling than this 4955, but this one's got LCD dash in it. Huh. Why? It's looking like some of those tines aren't even in the ground, doesn't it? Or no, I guess that's maybe just the part that's sticking above the ground. That's the way it looked. Nice looking unit in the field, that's for sure. All right, I'll leave you guys there for now. And I will bring you back in when we're ready to start rolling. So we'll see you then. Well, there, we just arrived back from the field. We finished that plowing contract. So the farm account is up to 219,000, and I already transferred the 5,000 that was due to us over. So that's been taken care of. Jim is still working away here on the seeding in this field, but as you can see, he is very close to being done. So my estimate between 2 and 3 was reasonably accurate. But I have decided that we're going to call the episode there. I have enough recorded for one episode. So, and I don't know if I have quite enough left to do a whole episode for September 4th. But I'm going to risk it because there's still some things I wanted to do and something else has popped up. So, and there's nothing saying that we can't jump ahead to the next month in the middle of an episode. So I think that's what we're going to do. Oh, and just before we leave, I looked it up, and the 4955 was made between 88 and 92, and the 7810 between 97 and 2003. So it is the newer tractor. I thought this looked like a little older design, but doesn't mean she doesn't work good. But anyways, guys, I am going to leave you there, and I will catch up with you. Now, I don't know if after Jim has done the seeding, I'll jump to tomorrow, or if we will do the rolling first. There's a couple things I want to check out, so I'll kind of depends how that goes. So we'll see. But we will see you for one more episode here in September. And like I said, we may jump to October during it. But anyways, if you're still with me, really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget about that old notification bell if you want to know when content like this lands. But for this episode, from here on Stone Valley, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.